Now, the UN chemical weapons body will meet in The Hague on Tuesday to discuss Syria's new proposal on the destruction of its chemical arsenal. The Syrians are proposing a 100-day plan which would remove all the chemical weapons from the country by the end of May. But the chemicals would still need to be broken down and destroyed on a US ship. That process would take 90 days. Well, Hamish De Bretton-Gordon is a former commander of the British military and chemical counter-terrorist force, and he joins us now from London. Thank you for being with us. So talk us through what's expected to happen on this first day and over the next few days.
Well, as I think everybody is aware, virtually every deadline has been missed. All the chemicals should be out of Syria by early February and should be well on the way to destruction now. But however, recently there has been some movement, and only last week the only chemical weapon, which is mustard gas, 30 tons of it, was removed from Syria, and some other chemicals, and also some chemicals were destroyed in Syria, isopropanol. What is left now is about 30%, is about 70% of the stockpile, and the Syrians have now said it will take about another 100 days to move those chemicals to Latakia, and as you've already said, another 90 days to destroy them. So in effect they'll be completely destroyed by August, September time. However, I think we're really sort of looking at the wrong issue now. Now that all the chemical weapons are out of Syria and all that is left is basically toxic chemicals, I think the OPCW and UN have done a fantastic job, and now is time to reassess the plan and leave those toxic chemicals in Syria, because there'll be lots of others there, or destroy them in Syria themselves, and actually put all the effort, you know, the hundreds of millions of dollars of money that's been spent on this, actually to trying to help the people of Syria, getting aid in rather than chemicals out.
Yeah, and without wanting to diminish the importance of getting rid of chemical weapons, what is the point of all this, really? And I ask that because is there not a sense that this is all a distraction from the real war that has been playing out in Syria day by day for 3 years now, in which hundreds of thousands have been killed, not by chemical weapons, but by bullets and bombs?
Yeah, entirely. I entirely agree with that. Over about 1,500 people have been killed by these chemical weapons, and potentially up to 160,000 conventionally. I think it is a complete distraction, and the regime have been keeping the international community at arm's length. I think there are really two issues now on the chemical weapon piece. First of all, proliferation. If there has been proliferation into terrorist groups in the region and elsewhere, that is a real concern globally, and there is compelling evidence that that has happened. The other piece is whether the regime have declared all their chemical weapons, and there was a potential chemical weapons attack in an opposition suburb in Damascus only on Sunday, where 4 people were killed, potentially of sarin. So I think we should focus on proliferation, because that will have a global impact, particularly in the Middle East and the Eastern Mediterranean, and put all the effort into trying to bring some sort of peace. And as I say, put all that effort that the Syrian army are doing to blast a route to Latakia to get these just industrial chemicals that are left there out of Syria, and perhaps focus on really trying to feed the starving population and come to some sort of peace.
Well, we'll certainly be following how all of this does play out, but good to get your perspective on this. Hamish De Bretton-Gordon joining us there from London. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.